Alright, welcome back to the EU4 Dev Clash. This is session 2, and everyone's gone. There's no one else here. It's just me and Nurgle in the studio, and that's a little confusing, but the show must go on. We decided that we're going to keep going with the Dev Clash and keep delivering the carnage. So I am DDR Jake, and I am joined through voice. We have, who's that on the other end?
Yeah, you may recognize me. My name is Johan. I've been working with the EU stuff for even longer than Jake, 20-something years.
That's a little bit longer then. So you're tuning in by voice chat, and you were in the game last session, but now you're joining us as an observer, and we've thrown Groogy into the wilds. Where is he, and why is he there?
Yeah, well, we have this. Gruger was supposed to be playing Cologne, and I was subbing for him because he was at the office and I couldn't get to the office that day. I may have been too much AFK playing and may have ruined his country, in his opinion. In my opinion, I made Cologne into a great city. Daniel did great entertainment last session, but his Aragon got destroyed. And Fredrik Lie missed his run with Slavonian Order, so they were all three basically eliminated. So I put them all in Africa.
Yeah, it's a time-honored tradition that we relocate people that have been destroyed in the Dev Clash.
And what? So I've put like there. I didn't put them in Songhai and Mali, which were the strongest one, but in three relatively similar power nations, spread out a little bit, so they have a little chance of blobbing before the Europeans come and kick. But I just made it so funny when they're giving Gruge the nation. He got Timbuktu.
Yeah.
And Gruge is from Skåne, and Skåne's most famous artist is named Timbuktu.
So it's more like national pride for the man to be placed back in Timbuktu.
Probably.
So we've just started off the game. We had a bit of a pause at the start so that people could get used to getting up to speed with where they are. We don't have any player wars going on at the moment. We just have some smaller ones. Looks like Kaiser Johan is trying to finish off his area there, eating up Siena. He'll have no problem doing that whatsoever. And Caligula Caesar in Savoy is preying upon the remains of poor Aragon. Daniel fought very valiantly in Aragon at the opening session. He had backing of Portugal, and even the Scots were coming along to fight in that one, but the combined power of Castile, France, and Burgundy were just overwhelming. Did you have any insights, Johan, into the diplomacy on the first session?
No, it's not at the office. I don't really know what they were talking, but from reading in the Slack chat, it looked on paper they were similarly matched in power, but France and Spain was just too strong.
Yeah.
There's no player France today.
Yeah,
the
we
French
don't.
player
We don't have...
is stuck somewhere, not able to getting back to Sweden in time. So
yeah, and speaking of which, Sweden and Norway, for that matter, it's there's no relevant nation still kicking in Scandinavia. I mean, there's this little red country there, but I don't know what they are.
I don't know. I've never seen them before. Yeah, but the Swedish player could not play because I had too much work to do.
Let's see. There we go. His Holiness is back in charge. Now, there was a lot of fighting going on in Italy in the first session. Wiz no doubt wanted Kaiser Johan eliminated from play, but Kaiser persisted. And when we were just finishing off last session, I saw the two of them meeting in the corridor just outside the streaming studio, and they went, Wiz opened by going, "I didn't quite go as planned. Maybe we should not spend the whole time trying to kill each other." So that's textbook Wiz going straight for the diplomacy. And he's very good at it. He's wangled some incredible deals over past dev clashes, which is why he needs slaves to carry all of his trophies, and some of us, without naming names, just don't have any trophies.
Yeah, I only have 3 of them. Sorry. What I'm viewing though is that Martin is good at diplomacy. It's not bad. He's really good at fighting wars. It's just that, can he trust Kaiser Johan as his neighbor?
Yeah, I mean, Kaiser Johan is great to have as your ally, but he's not going to be your ally forever, and he is an incredibly strong and ruthless player. But like you said, Wiz is very good and accomplished at the game himself. He's no slouch when it comes to the fights and the warfare. He knows the game very well.
There's designed a piece. Kaiser Johan, he grabbed the promises as one. But I also see two other players at war. Benin has started a war, and Bohemia started a war.
Yeah, so Bohemia, I don't know if they're trying to spread their glorious faith or just spread their map borders, but it looks like Proto-Bavaria is not going to have a good time. And what was that happening down in Benin? What is Daniel up to? This is a fairly strong Benin. Normally they start out with the coastline, but he's eating up Nupe right now. Trying to remember if that's where the gold is. No, it's not. Let's see if we can check that. Because it'll be likely a rush for the gold, but Timbuktu is in the best position to get that.
Yeah, Timbuktu, he's drilling his soldiers, it seems. He's not doing anything. Oh, but Benin is kind of lucky with their allies. They have two allies in the war. So I think they actually have a chance of winning that war. That could give them a huge advantage in the race for Africa, or the race in Africa.
We also see Benin and Timbuktu have allied with each other, but Yao have just allied the AIs. But that said, Songhai is one of the AIs, and they are, I'd say in the very start of the game, Songhai is the strongest one around in Africa. I think they're the only one with fortification. Maybe Mali has one or two, but they are very strong, great ruler, centrally placed.
Yeah, and let's not forget the idea. The Songhai, they basically start with 5 discipline.
Yeah, they're pretty great. They've got infantry combat ability
Combat ability and armor tradition.
Yeah.
Discipline is the end, and they have like the morale. It's basically the Prussia of West Africa.
Yeah, whereas
you don't want to let them survive.
Timbuktu, on the other hand, they've just got mostly trade ideas, so I'll be interested to see if Grugi specs for trade or what he does with the nation. Oh, Venice have gone to war as well, and they're taking it out on Mamluks. What's going on there? That's right, Venice scored an unlikely alliance with the Ottomans, and I believe, let's see, oh no, it's the Ottomans going to war with Mamluks and dragging Venice in. I thought it would be the other way around.
Well, it's a good time to try to snag Alexandria, because the Ottomans are marching down for Judea, right? And they're basically crushing the Mamluks.
Oh yeah, the Ottomans have the terrific advantage. They got Tech 5 over the Mamluks Tech 4, so Mamluks here doesn't stand a ghost of a chance. But the Ottomans are a terrific ally to have in a multiplayer like this for a certain time, but there will come a time when the players will vastly overpower the Ottomans, and then they might not be quite so good to have. And we're just checking Venice as they declared war on their own. Okay, Venice are taking advantage of the situation by declaring war on Ragusa, who are normally guaranteed by the Ottomans, but because they're in a war together, they're taking this opportunity to snag that province. So the Dalmatia state is going to belong to Venice.
That's our hero for you. He's an opportunistic player, and he's utterly ruthless.
Yeah, well, he's had to be with Austria breathing down his neck.
Yeah, and his history in Imperator multiplayer and other multiplayer games where we play. If your first multiplayer games are with people like Kaiser Johan, you get trained in how.
Yeah, trained to be ruthless. But we play for score here, right? Maybe you can give a bit more background on this than I can, but competitive in-house multiplayer has been a long tradition in Paradox.
Yeah, I mean, I still have Facebook reminders of co-workers posting taunts from like 11, 12 years ago from EU3 multiplayer. It used to be on the Holy Tuesdays where we played multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we had the tradition at Paradox called the Tuesday beer, because we were playing multiplayer for 2 hours and then we went out and had a beer afterwards to chat.
Yeah, and it's not just been Europa Universalis. I remember tuning in for a March of the Eagles multiplayer back when. I seem to recall you and Karsten slugging it out in that one.
No, I think that was probably Chris. I can't remember. I'm getting old. I'm gray-haired old guy. Oh, Asura started a war. He's in the Palatine. He couldn't join the last session because of some computer problems, but this is his first dev clash.
Let's have a look-see. He's gone to war with who? Oh, he's taken out Strasbourg. There's a whole bunch of new nations around in the HRE now. So if you know the HRE like the back of your hand, there'll be some additional things to learn on 1.30 release.
Yeah, but if it's interesting, one thing, if looking at the Holy Roman Empire right now, is that Austria, there's a tie between Austria and Saxony, and it's all in the hand of the Palatinate. So the Palatinate is the kingmaker of should they support Austria or Saxony for the next.
Oh yeah, and of course both are players, but Austria's currently in the AI's hands, right? Isn't? No, right. I see it now. So Roger's made it in as Austria. Right, so maybe either of them can try to win over the Palatinate for rule over the HRE.
Yeah, but we also have really good players in Germany. I mean, I think we have someone still playing Lübeck, or is he out of the game?
Yeah,
Lübeck's
Lübeck's still there. Bogdanov is right there.
Saxony, Brandenburg, Brunswick, Palatinate, all players.
Yeah, I struggle to think of a time where we've had so many players into the HRE, but it's very fitting for Emperor's Dev Clash.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We actually have an incident showing right now.
Player war.
Oh, player war first. It involves the Kaiser Johann, so what's going on here?
Mamelukes, Hejaz, and Austrian one. And
ooh, we've got the Savoyard conquest. So Savoy has declared war on Genoa. Genoa's allied with Florence, and that that looks a little one-sided. Poor Bjorn is in Genoa. And
Genoa and Florence.
Yeah, I'm not so sure the two of them are going to be able to hold out here. But I noticed that Wiz is not.
Is this the end of Kaiser Johann?
I don't think he'll end that easily.
He's fighting all the countries around him with just Genoa on his side.
Yeah, even Portugal's getting involved.
But Venice is a player war with Austria.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've fought it out before, so what's going on there?
Austria is at war with.
Okay, so
on the Mamluk side.
Austria joined the Mamluk side. Why? Why would they do that?
And Venice and basically it's like Austria is not going to be able. Oh, they committed all the troops into Italy, and then the Ottomans and Venice is basically blitzing.
Yeah. Austria's getting sieged up here, whilst the Austrian troops are a little busy in Cremona. Oh, Jings. Italy was a mess in the first session. It's just carrying on here.
And this is war when it's happening. Just look at the Savoyan armies trying to fight. The Austrian armies are stuck in northern Italy. They're just sitting there waiting, and they can't really do anything.
That does not look good for them. One wonders why so many people came to join this war against Genoa and Florence. There must have been a... Well, I don't know. I would understand if it's a remove Kaiser Johann coalition, but they're fighting poor Bjorn. What did Bjorn do?
They're taking down Venice. The Austrian armies are in western Venice, while the Ottoman armies are marching up.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a view on where the Ottoman armies are. Right, Oh well, this will allow Mamluks maybe a chance to not lose so hard. They're losing pretty bad right now, though.
Yeah, they lost Alexandria just right now.
But that's strange because Austria will be pulled out of this war when Ottomans make peace with Mamluks. So I wonder what their game plan is here. I also wonder what Bjorn's game plan is, because he's about to lose Genoa, and all else that he has is Corsica. I think it's Savoy wanting to form Sardinia-Piedmont.
It's 1583 early. There's an Ottoman army sieging Vienna. Or not sieging, but
well,
they're
trying to siege. They will when they can. So one wonders what Austria is going to do. Are they going to turn their armies back? Because they seem a little stuck there. They've got all these Venetian fortifications between them and their country. Unless they make their way around Milan and Switzerland to get back in.
I just like it that the sieger, the army in Albenga, west of Genoa, it's Portuguese.
Oh, we've got peace, so Austria made it out of that. The Mamluks don't seem too destroyed. What happened there? What was the peace deal? I don't actually see a lot lost. I don't see anything lost by the Mamluks.
No, me neither.
Perhaps Arheo can fill us in with what happened there. Or maybe the Venetian player.
Oh, Morocco is. He's basically taking everything up to Tunis. He's taking Tlemcen.
Yeah, Morocco got really ground down in the wars with the French and the Iberians early on, so he's probably limiting his ambitions just at the Straits of Gibraltar and are instead going and taking what they can in North Africa before Tunis gets in there. Because as we saw from D-Note's player profile quote, there's no deal that he can't get. There we go, they've taken a big chunk out of Tlemcen. They grabbed the fortification, but I don't think they've finished the job. Either there's an agreement with Tunis, or they're going to be coming back for the rest later.
Might be overextension, might be power.
Okay, poor Bjorn. He's got very little left right now. What about the Kaiser? Is he able to fight back with anything? There's still about 30,000 troops, but where are they? Oh, really? Where are they?
I know where they are.
Ah, I see. They're hiding out in Ferrara. They don't have an opportunity to go blazing on in, nor does he have a particular tech advantage.
And he has no help.
Yeah, nobody's willing to help out poor Florence right now. But it's still expensive land. You can't expect all of this to be eaten up in one go. What of the Papal State, though? He's not claiming Florentine land right now.
What we're basically saying is that Austrians and Swiss are helping Milan in a war against Florence, and because the occupation is like Savoy. They're letting Savoy grow.
Yeah, I guess they're invested in getting that Sardinia-Piedmont on the map. Maybe Savoy isn't seen as a threat to the Austrians, because what the Austrians would likely want is the Venetian trade node.
So it's only player wars except Daniel.
Yeah, how are things going for little Benin down there? They've taken over Nupe. Still got their good alliances there. He's actually blocked in by his alliances unless he goes up through Kano, but that would bring him into conflict with Yao quite early. I've got a question in chat asking us, why is the Pope allied to like 1,000 people? Well, actually that is a lot of allies for old Wissington to have there. What is he up to?
Ooh, the Knights are doing something cool.
Yeah, we were looking at the Knights there for a moment. What are they?
Yeah,
up to?
he's landing. He's going toward the Byzantium to take Greece. That's ambitious.
That is ambitious. I don't think he even has enough troops to siege up that fort there. It's a capital fort as well. But he can certainly take on the Byzantine army right now.
Yeah, and probably
all 1,000 of them. But does he have support? Is anybody going to help poor Lorenzo in the Knights? Well, he's got no allies, so he's a bit of an antithesis to Wiz there.
But it's a gamble. He's doing properly.
Yeah, but he kind of has to. There's not a lot he has. He would either just sit there and wait until the Ottomans claim him and kill him, or he strikes out. Now, if he takes this land, the Ottomans are doubtlessly going to want it for themselves. They have permanent claims on it. But maybe he can ally Venice, and that would prevent the Ottomans from wanting to go for it. Who knows?
Could be. Well, if you ship over his troops, he has more troops, so you probably have enough to siege. I don't.
Alright, Wiz has gone to war against Florence there. And there's nothing left of Florence. He's pretty much 100%ed right now. So I think that could be the premature end of the Kaiser here.
Yeah, he's getting kicked out of Europe.
Yeah, unless he has some ace up his sleeve, and that would have to be an ally, then he's just out of here.
So we're probably looking at Genoa and Florence.
Yeah, Genoa and Florence are probably not long for this world. I remember the first time I ever joined a Dev Clash, a Custom Nations game, and some guy who was up in Scandinavia, he managed to destroy me. I wonder who that was.
I have no recollection of destroy. Yeah, let's not. That might have been.
Old wounds. Old wounds.
We have new wars because Venice is attacking Ferrara to gobble that one up while everyone is busy with other things.
Yeah, that's a good move for them because Ferrara is a great province to have to secure the Venetian trade node, and he's going to want all the strength he can get if Austria is becoming too powerful. Now, early on in the first session, we thought that Hungary and Austria were going to be buddy-buddy, but they appear to have some animosity between them now. They're not allied, and Austria has taken over a lot of land that should really belong to Hungary.
Yeah. Now the Knights have enough. They have a free company they've hired, so they have enough troops to siege down Morea.
Oh yeah, there we go. They can get that siege of Morea going.
I like the opportunities from our hero because he has Ottoman backing. He's helped Ottomans in war. They're very likely to protect him if they get attacked. No matter how good the Swiss and Austrian and those armies are there, they're not. I wouldn't count on them being able to defeat Venice with Ottoman backing that easily.
Yeah, especially this early in the game when the Ottomans are a powerhouse. I'm beginning to suspect that maybe Austria joined the war against the Ottomans so that they would have a truce with the Ottomans and Venice wouldn't be able to just unleash them on Austria.
Maybe. Because Sir Rogers is not a bad player. There's so many great players with a lot of experience here, so you really can't judge anyone as much superior because it's like we're talking about the greatness of Kaiser Johan, but him, Switzerland, that's Starnan.
Oh yeah. He said he's going to play. He said he's going to play a low profile for this this campaign, at least to begin with. But I think there's going to be a moment when he wants to unleash the Starnan from within.
Yeah, there's a Starnan Swiss army is sitting in Genoa right now, so.
He's just showing off there for the time being. But yeah, we've got a lot of great players. And in fact, a lot of people that join the company get excited at the prospect of joining in the Dev Clash because they see it, and when they join in, they're itching to take part as well.
We're missing a few other wars to look at because we haven't looked at the West. We have England here. They're gobbling up in...
Yeah, the Ireland actually got off scot-free on the first session because England and Scotland were too busy abroad in other wars. But now it looks like England's making good on their claims on the island. I don't know what Scotland is going to get out of all of this. Looks like they're at war with Tyrone and Desmond. So are they going to split Ireland? Are they going to have a symbiotic relationship? Or is one just waiting to prey on the other?
An English-Scots alliance just feels wrong in my ear.
Yeah, well, who knows how that's going to go down. Because who do we have there? We've got, we've got I don't actually know how to say it. Besushov?
Probably, it's some Russian name.
But then there's Ofalov at the top, so wouldn't underestimate either of them.
No, Besukhov used to be like top 8 regular in the first Dev Clashes. I mean, he was the project lead, a lead programmer for the original EU4, so he knows one or two things about it. And he's been like with the EU series for a long time. He started as like a beta tester for EU2 back in 2001, I think, and started working for us 2 years later. So
he's got a few years of EU under his belt then.
Yeah.
And England have endless opportunities. He also came out of the 100 Years' War unscathed. He didn't lose any of his land. He's managed to get rid of his useless ruler. Now we got Henry VII. Tudors. We've been
it's awesome. Some other player wars. Saxony is fighting Würzburg, Frank, and Goslar. The war is over for Kaiser Johan. He lost Parma, but nothing else, or?
Parma and Siena have both been taken away. So Wiz essentially got Siena for free there. He didn't have to fight over it. But Milan got Parma back, and he'll be happy about that because Milan got ripped apart early on. Oh, got a new heir for England, and yeah, He's got it where it counts. Frederick Tudor. But what's going to happen to poor Genoa here? They're completely occupied. Savoy can probably do whatever they want to them right now. Oh, but Bjorn is refusing peace at the moment. He won't be able to do that much longer.
Well, he still got this territory in Crimea.
Oh, that's true. He could make a new identity, right? He could turn into a Pontic Greek. Even flip to Orthodox if he wants. Although he did just convert something there. Could be a new awakening for Bjorn. Because the east is fairly empty. Right? I was... like, the furthest east player we had was...
Poor Duplo. Check his watch.
Oh.
He got all of Morea. We didn't even highlight his great skill of taking out Byzantium.
And already the guns of Urban are tearing down Moria. And it says he's trying to core it as well. I know Duplo has a lot of fans out there. You need your power now more than ever.
Come on, Team Duplo. Duplo, you can make it. You still have your army and roads.
Nobody even came to help him, though. That's the sad part.
And it's so beautiful, the armors there in Rhodes when you zoom in.
Yeah, it looks so good. It looks ready to purge the heresies, but I wonder if he's going to be let off by just losing that, or if the Ottomans are going to come for Rhodes as well. Because the Ottomans really want Rhodes. They want everything he's got, in fact.
Yeah, that's not very good for him. Oh well, he's gonna lose, and his fleets are getting crushed.
Mm-hmm. All the other player wars are over now, and Genoa's still alive. For some strange reason, Savoy left them with Albenga and Corsica. I wonder what's up with that.
Well, Savoy wanted Genoa.
I mean, they probably should have wanted the whole lot. It's decent land.
25 development. They may have not been able to take more without overextension.
Yeah, looking at their aggressive expansion, it is pretty high already. I feel like... Was it Denmark last session that ate a coalition for getting too greedy? Oh, Duplo's claiming that he's still alive, and he is. You know, a minor setback. He's back to Rhodes. He just needs to find his next target and strike out.
Cyprus is a single eye.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Mamluks guaranteed.
Yeah, but the Mamluks are bound to get trashed by the Ottomans every decade or so. Well, if he just times it right, I'm sure he can get in there. I just had a short trip into Greece, but the Ottomans did not agree.
The evil alliance of Cerebir and Mecca, they're very evil warmongers from last session, destroying the peaceful Cologne constantly. They are now fighting...
and they're fighting with the March of Cologne on their side.
The greatest city in Europe. 36 development.
Let's have a look at... There we go. It shines brightly on the development map mode.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looks like he's just consolidating the area then.
Switzerland is at war with Augsburg and Bosnia. I don't think they're going for Bosnia, but more for Augsburg.
Yeah, I don't think Bosnia is on their shopping list, but... Oh, that would be a bit of an affront against Hungary and Austria to, I don't know, subjugate the Bosnians. But I don't think it's going to be going down. Looks to me like Starnan is going to secure good central German lands, and if he holds onto those into the late game and maybe develops and builds on them, it's going to be extremely powerful for him, because it's all very consolidated and easy to defend. Not like nations like Venice, for example, who have borders everywhere, which is very hard to defend.
Yeah, but there's not many provinces. It's going to be like bordering like Burgundy to the west, Palatinate to the north, Austria to the east, and to Italians.
Yeah, I guess that's why they've got to strike out at the moment. Hang on, why is... Oh, right, I thought Ulm was Ulm, but it's owned by Austria. Not only that, but it seems that the Bohemians are striking out with their Hussite ways. They decided to embrace it, and it looks like they're sharing the faith with some people. So, we want a strong, resurgent Hussite.
Yeah. Utrecht is a site as well.
I wonder how that went down.
And Ansbach. Teutonic Order is in a war. Novgorod. Ooh. They're
Well.
fighting. Sweden is fighting Novgorod. The Swedish AI is.
Yeah, well, they had an alliance with the Teutonic Order, so I guess the Teutons brought them in to make life a little easier, or maybe even to give Sweden that land. That would be nice.
Sweden, Muscovy, Denmark, Teutonic Order, and all the Muscovy vassals are eating.
Well, wouldn't you know it, Austria is no longer Holy Roman Emperor. Frederick
It's
von
Saxony.
Wetten, Saxony is in charge now, and they got the Palatinate support on that, so that's what tipped the balance. If it's a
That's
tie,
awesome.
normally the previous emperor will win it, but I guess the Palatinate decided that their vote would matter.
There's only 44 princes now, so the bonuses for emperors decrease.
Yeah, not only that, but Austria resided over the Shadow Kingdom, so he lost a lot of imperial authority and prestige over that, so that probably tipped a bit of the balance for voting.
Probably.
I wonder what the Teutonic Order is looking to get out of this. Novgorod is still held by the Danes, so that kind of limits what they can take here. Oh, but it was Sweden, AI Sweden, that started the war. I missed that part. Oh, I don't think Novgorod's going to be lasting much longer. Muscovy's also coming in and tearing off parts.
It's going to be a nice border, natural Swedish borders in the east, which is good. Green Radius is going to be happy about.
Can't get enough of that White Sea trade node. Muscovy is still pretty strong, even in AI hands, but between them, I think Teutonic Order and Sweden could really capitalize on that land and grow strong from it. No player has allied Poland. I'm surprised by that because the PLC is very strong to have early game as an ally, but nobody's taking it. In fact, Bohemia is probably fearing it.
They have strong allies, Volgast and Silly, and I don't even know where Silly is, or Chile or whatever.
Silly is a bit of a cult hit. They're an OPM between Austria and Hungary. People keep asking for missions for them, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I just discovered the coolest new flags because I've not looked too much about what they did with the map, etc. Because in the last year, but the flag of independent Stettin is probably the coolest one. It's bright blue with a red something.
That is a something, all right. Is it holding a key or a... I do not know. Well, we can get it on screen and admire it for a bit. Maybe some viewers that are from Stettin, they're bound to be there, can tell us about it. It's a griffin with a key, apparently.
It's probably called Stettin or Stettin. I can't pronounce it in Polish, so... It's too much peace. Start wars.
Well, no, it's an unlikely outcome, but we actually have D-Note, who's the one holding the war front. But he's just fighting against Mazab. I don't think he's going to have too much of a hard time there. And he's mostly just fighting himself at the moment. But there we go. It's peace for our time.
Yeah, Chamberlain was right.
Well, I haven't actually checked to see how Renaissance is spreading, so we'll have a quick gander at that right now. Okay, so it's really dotted about. Bohemia and Hungary and obviously Italy have it. Scotland have it. They're real Renaissance people over there. England. Stockholm does. I'm sure it grew from Södermalm. Otherwise, it's still got a bit of growing to do there. People are going, what is that after Enlightenment? What indeed? I think we can take a look at that at a future time. People are asking, no, I think some of the French miners do not yet have Renaissance. It's not even growing right now. Do France themselves have it? No, they don't.
It looks like the spread has been like Italy as expected, and the lowlands as expected. Some German miners boosted up, and some capitals like Scotland or England and Bohemia and Sweden.
Yeah, there we go. Lothian's got the towering amount of development that it's always deserved, so it no doubt has the Renaissance. I don't know if Bohemia's Hussite ways assisted with bringing in the Renaissance, because it doesn't look like they've developed much, if at all. They've only developed Prague a couple of times. Gotta visit Prague.
Now
that's on
Grog
the
is
list.
fighting.
There we go. What's up? What's up, Timbuktu? Oh my. I don't think he values his alliance with Songhai so much anymore. Good grief. Air have demolished Songhai. Timbuktu have great advantage of having a fort on their capital, so it's hard for enemies to even muster enough troops to bring them down. Meanwhile, he's going to bring down Messina, and then I assume he's going to go for Jenny next. He's married with them, but... what's in a marriage?
Mali is kicking out Jolof, so...
Oh wow, we've actually got Danzig on the map. The days of Teutonic Order are already behind us. We've got the Republic of Danzig.
It's interesting, though, is that Castile has gotten their first victory card. They accumulated it, and they have. It was Valencia. They got the victory card on, and that's why they are in the lead of score by far by the players.
Yeah, there we go. With Valencia, they'll tick up very fast with score. Somebody else has a victory card, though. We have England, who has one on Burgundy. That might be a little difficult for England, since Burgundy would mean having to fight France and Castile. And England, how are they doing for their own allies? Portugal, Morocco, and Scotland weren't enough to defeat them before. I don't think there'll be enough now with a strengthened Castile. Does anybody else have them? I'm not seeing any other, but you need a... 300 development to unlock a victory card, and I think Castile and England are the only ones up there.
Yeah, they're the only one.
The only ones that are players. Well, actually, France has 300 and something development.
No, they only have 208 own development.
Oh right, but it's not a
112
It's not a player anyway, so they.
No.
Not yet, at least. He'll be back.
It's interesting. It's like there's Ming and Poland are the greatest powers, or then Ottomans. There's like top four are AI.
Yeah, they're all AIs. Hell, even
Top 5,
Muscovy as well. Muscovy's AI.
Only Castile and England are great powers are players at the moment.
Well, Sweden could be on their track to that as well. They've gobbled up a whole chunk of Novgorod, and that's going to significantly
Venice is at
weaken
war
Muscovy.
with Ottomans.
Sorry. Oh dear, how did that happen? They were... so the Ottomans have decided to attack Genoa, and Venice decided that it's more important to defend Björn than to keep their alliance with the Ottomans. Not my first choice in keeping those alliances. Yeah, I don't think it'd be any of my choices, actually. That is hanging yourself out to burn for Björn.
And Florence is in the same war.
I guess they're trying to stick together against the Ottomans. That said, if they win, then they'll be able to enjoy some Ottoman lands between them. But that's a big if. The Ottomans are pretty powerful right now.
It's the Ottoman conquest of Skio, so...
Yeah, and they've gotten that one in a heartbeat. Getting back to retake Skio would be a whole lot. The Ottoman fleet is far stronger than theirs as well. But Karaman are offering alone.
But I'm not sure, yeah. Where the fuck is the Venetian fleet? Have they lost the fleet?
I don't think they've built up much of a fleet. Either that or it got destroyed early on because they only have one galley. In fact, between the four of them, they have 5 galleys. That can't be good. Whereas the Ottomans, they got 30 odd. They're not going to win on the seas. They could win on the land if they bring all their armies together, but then they are really going to be at the mercy of the other players who could jump them. The Austrian truce with Venice is almost up, and Venice no longer having that that Ottoman alliance means that they could just stomp them. It's also got a crazy amount of alliances.
Yeah, Wissington has been hot joined multiple times and now is out of sync.
Yeah, being in sync is against the papal orders. Somebody's claiming that the Venetians are going to take Constantinople. I'm not so sure. Not so sure. And the strange orange country in the middle of Italy, which Grum Funk is asking in chat, that's Bologna. Bologna is a new tag that's been added in Italy in 130.
Oh, Dalmatia, it doesn't look good. There's a large Ottoman army marching up. And there's
currently sieging down
another large
Sparta.
army in Crimea as well. I think this was the stupidest decision, as you said.
Yeah, joining on Genoa's side, probably not the greatest idea for Arheo. Well, perhaps we'll get his justification in. There's a thought, like, we don't have our finger on the pulse for the players if they have anything to tune in with. So I'm turning to Nurgle, saying that if he has any messages he wants to relay, I'm going to have to rely on him to bring that. He's giving me a thumbs up, good. So we might have a Nurgle voice chip in with words from our players.
Oh, there's another huge war. Hungary is fighting Poland.
Yeah, I just saw the Hungarian forces mobilize, and it looks like they do want to take down the PLC. Why is this? Hungary is actually fighting Moldavia.
It's Austria, Saxony, Brandenburg, Hungary.
Okay, so Hungary's forces do have the better, the better numbers here.
It's basically all the East is fighting in PLC right now.
This could be the one that tears it down and makes it into free real estate for... Wow, that is a huge alliance. Absolutely huge. Maybe it just looks like that with subjects, though. But it's a lot of land, you know. Brandenburg, Saxony, Bohemia, Austria, Hungary. Powerful stuff. All in one war and all over Moldavia. They could probably separate peace out Poland. I wonder if they made Poland a co-belligerent in this. They have. I think they've carved up, or they've made plans to carve up Poland out of this. I think it's a 15th century partition here. Sorry, Polish viewers, you should look away right now because I don't think this will go well.
Brandenburg is getting the coastline probably from Volgas.
Yeah, that's going down. It's all being striped in Brandenburg brown.
But the Polish armies are strong. They're going to be marching up there, and we're going to see an interesting...
Yeah, so where are those Polish armies? They are currently marching north. Looks like they want to chase Brandenburg right out of Poznan. The Wallachian and Thuringian forces are joining in there. How's that gonna go down, though? I don't think Brandenburg can see them coming, so it'll be a nasty surprise for them if they jump on him. He's got Tech 6, but Tech 7 is where it's at. Well, Tech 6 is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Fogmoth's doing diplomacy in the chat. Do you want Holstein or can I have it? That's Lubeck there. I don't think they've... Well, they got themselves a subject, but they haven't grown in terms of land.
Oh, this is going to be fine. Here we go. Northern in the coastlines.
There we go. We got Hungarians slaughtering Moldavians down in the south, but we have the Poles cornering the Brandenburgs up north. Oh wow, Hungary are not rolling well in that fight, but I think they can beat them. What'll it be, Poland? Oh, they didn't quite catch Brandenburg, but they're close. We also have blue flames going on. It seems like Italy's on fire again, involving Venice. Oh man, Venice just can't get enough of war. It's Venice versus Austria again. How's this going down? The Milanese have decided to reconquer on Venice. So I gotta hand it to... It's Neon DT in Milan, right? Yeah, he looked pretty done in the first session. But he's come back with a vengeance.
Oh, there's a huge battle, and we're seeing Kaiser Johan kicking Papal State.
Yeah, revenge of the Kaiser. He's going right down to Rome. He's doing what Hannibal couldn't. Oh no, he's turning
And
back.
the Venetian armies are not defending the coastline from the Ottomans. They are defending the Italian heartland. Trying to merge up with Kaiser Johan, probably.
It looks like it. Man, Italy is just in flames constantly here. Still, Savoy grew a lot in strength, and they are on Milan's side here, so it could be... Ooh, could be a very bad time for Florence, actually. It's everyone fighting everyone down in Italy these days. Yeah, with Venice at war with the Ottomans, that leaves them not able to fully commit to either of these wars. So I think Milan is going to get their lands conquered back, and I dare say Austria is going to want some of that rich Venetian heartland. But Venice have got their armies together, and they're not letting the allies against them get any breathing room. But where's the Kaiser's army? Oh, Pope's coming in and slaughtering Mantua's army. The Kaiser is in the north. Okay, there we go. The battle's going to be happening down in Mantua. They're pouring in now. We've got the Venetians on one side with Lucio 340. But a 5-5. Yeah, wow, that's some incredible leadership on the Savoyard. Wow! The Venetians and the Florentines, they just got hammered and sent home. And that can't be good for the Venetians if they're trapped on Venice. Well, depends if they can be kept in there if a good army is parked on Treviso. Remember previously, Treviso killed more people than the entire Venetian army.
The war in the east is over, so Ottomans have peaced out.
Yeah, there we go. Well, the Ottomans got their islands, and they also peeled a wee bit away from Venice. Naxos is no more. Naxos had to go. Did you just give away my province in a peace deal, says Arheo? So Bjorn made peace with the Ottomans and gave away Venetian land.
I think Arheo made like the double failed this.
We were talking about this before. When you ally Bjorn, you kind of roll the dice, but a lot of the dice are just one. So do with that as you will.